Hello tankers, welcome back to Motion RC. I'm James and today we're talking about RC tanks. Now the goal of this video is just to go through the 4 major brands of RC tanks we carry so that you can find which RC tank is right for you. So the 4 major brands that we carry here at motionrc.com and motionrc.eu are going to be Tongde, Heng Long, Torro, and Mato. Now on the US side we also carry a few Tamiya tanks, but for the purpose of this video, just consider them in the line with the Mato tank line that we carry. Those are going to be at the higher end. Now the one thing I love about all 4 brands of RC tanks is that the majority of the tanks they carry are going to be 1/16 scale. So that means whether you get Tongde tank or a Mato tank, depending on your price point, if there's a tank that you want, it's going to be available probably in one of those 4 brands. And the beauty is they're all going to scale to each other because scale is important when it comes to RC tanking. Now one of the beauties of the 1/16 scale RC tanks, regardless of the brand you choose, is that all of them have a lot of features that are very similar. They're all going to come with proportional steering controls and turret mounts. So that means the more you push on the throttle, the more you push on the turret traverse, the faster they're going to move, and the lesser you push, the less they're going to move. So you can really get that scale appearance regardless which tank you go for. All of these RC tanks are going to offer great features like sound systems, smoke systems. They have IR capabilities, so that means infrared sensing, so they can shoot, the tanks can technically shoot at each other invisibly, but you could play sort of a tank game with your RC tanks, and the beauty is all of them work well together. Now regardless of which RC tank you choose, you have to go to the individual tank page and make sure you go through all the features to make sure that specific tank has some of the features you want, because not every tank has every single feature, but a majority of them do. So just make sure when you're checking out which tank you want that it has all the features that you want in your RC tank. Now despite the similarities between a lot of the tanks, the big differences are going to be how they're made and what the tanks come with, and that's going to separate them vastly by price points. So let's start with the best tanks and brands for a beginner or intermediate level RC tanker. So if I was starting out in RC tanking, the 2 brands I'd want to focus on the most are going to be Heng Long and Tongde. Tongde is a newer brand that came out that's in very good competition with Heng Long because they have a lot of the same features and they play nicely with each other. But Tongde started making tanks that Heng Long didn't have available. So when you combine the 2 brands, on one page, you've got a myriad of different styles of tanks, from modern era tanks like the Abrams and Leopards, all the way back to the World War II style tanks like the Shermans and the Tigers. Now one of the reasons the Tongdes and the Heng Longs are great to start, a majority of the tank itself, of those tanks, are going to be made from plastic. And if you go with the upgrade version of either a Tongde or Heng Long tank, you're going to find that a majority of the tank is all plastic, from the tracks to the wheels to the barrels to everything about the tank, which again brings down the price, brings down the weight, and it's a great starting point. And I always suggest to someone thinking about getting into the RC tanks, start with something cheaper, start with something smaller maybe, at a lower price, see if you enjoy the tank, and if you do, then you start working your way up to other brands. Now when it comes to Tongde and Heng Long, you're going to find that most of the tanks from these brands will have multiple versions of the same tank, and namely they're going to be the upgrade version and then the professional versions. Now an upgrade version is going to be all plastic, so it's going to have plastic treads, plastic idlers, plastic sprockets, and plastic road wheels. Whereas the professional version of that tank is going to come with all the same features as the upgrade version, except you're going to see that the treads, the road wheels, the idler, the sprockets are going to be all metal. So they make the tank a little more expensive, but they make the tank more durable. If you plan on taking these tanks outside and being rugged with them, I would always suggest going with the professional version because that'll allow you more bashing outside in rougher terrain. But if you're somebody who just likes to have the tanks as display, maybe you want to customize them and paint them up, model them, you're thinking that you're not really going to use them as RC, then the upgrade version is all you need. So now once you've gotten into the Heng Long and Tongde tanks of the world and you're thinking of taking a step up, that next step should be Torro. What you're going to find with a Torro tank is it's going to have mostly the same features as a Heng Long or Tongde as far as proportional controls and all the things we spoke about earlier. But these tanks come with a beautiful carrying case, and they're also going to be about 75% metal. So you're going to start getting into the chassis and the tops of the tanks, and the accessory bits around the tank are going to be metal. And Torro also sells, which we carry at Motion RC, a myriad of tank accessories that are all metal that will add more realism to whatever tank you choose, regardless of the line. These parts will fit on a Heng Long or a Tongde or a Mato tank, but they're made by Torro and the accessories are beautiful. If you're someone looking to take a step up from a Tongde or a Heng Long, then Torro's your next step and you won't be disappointed. They got a great selection of their tanks, and again, they are made for durability. They got more realistic speaker and sound systems in them, but they provide just as much fun, if not more, than a Heng Long or a Tongde. And then we have the Mato brand of tanks, which we just recently started carrying at Motion RC. One of the best features about Mato tanks is that they are 100% metal. Almost every piece on the tank, at least on the exterior, is going to be metal. They are built durable, they are built to last, and they are absolutely stunning when you see them up close. Now, they will come in a couple versions, but those versions really only are painted and unpainted versions. Nothing different about the controls. They're all going to work the same regardless of the one you want, but they make all chrome versions for the guys who really just want to get into tanking, paint it up yourself and customize it. And then they have versions that are fully painted and ready to roll straight out of the box. But those, again, are going to be your most expensive tanks because, as we said, those are hand-built and they are fully 100% metal, which is awesome sight to behold, both when you feel it in weight and just looking at it on your tabletop. So guys, if you have any more questions, please ask me down below in the comment section. I'm always answering as many questions as I can. But if you're new to the RC tanking world, I hope this video will help you out just a little bit to understand the differences and what you should be looking for as a tanker. So again, if you're a beginner getting into this, check out the Tongde and Heng Long line. They provide the most variety of tanks overall between the two brands, and they're a great place to start. You'll find World War II era tanks, you'll find modern day tanks, you'll find tanks from a myriad of different countries around the world, all different styles, like a few of them that you see all around me here are mostly Tongde and Heng Long. But a great place to start and perfect for any collectors. I mean, some people just want to collect these like Pokemon, and I understand why. I absolutely love them myself. Just having them near each other is just cool, regardless what brand you go with. But then jumping into the Torro brand, that's when you're getting a little more advanced in the durability factor and the all metalness of it. You get 75% mostly metal on a Torro product. You do get a great carrying case that comes with it, and a lot of features are just going to be a little better than what you're going to find in a Tongde and Heng Long, as you'd expect when you pay in the price. And then lastly, it's the Mato tanks. We're excited about that line of tanks, but we know they are at the higher end of the price point for a majority of customers, so you might not be on the market for a Mato tank. But if you're somebody who likes to spend on your RC and want to go to the highest level of completeness and beauty, then jump onto a Mato tank because they are stunning. I did a live unboxing of one very recently. You could check out that video. They're beautiful when they come out of the box. They have a great transmitter that comes with them, a lot of functionality in them, and overall, they're just an absolutely exceptional, they're about the best RC tanks you're going to be able to find on the market today. And then for you US customers, the Tamiya tanks. We carry a couple Tamiya tanks as well. I'd put them on par with the Mato tanks as far as scale-wise and beauty and detail, because those are also mostly metal, not fully 100% metal, but Tamiya is a great brand name, but we only carry about 4 or 5 different tanks. In the US side, we don't have those for our EU customers, so we're just keeping it to the 4 major brands that we carry for this video. But there you have it, guys. That's going to do it for this video. Which tank is right for you? So again, regardless your price point, regardless style of tank you want, Motion RC is going to have something for you if you're interested in getting involved in RC tanks. So by all means, check out the links below in the description to this video. I'll have links to all the tanks in one spot. I also have links to each of the 4 brands I spoke about individually, from Mato to Torro to Tongde to Heng Long. So guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something out of this video. And as always, guys, we thank you so much for shopping at motionrc.com and motionrc.eu, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.